Okay, this is new World Symphony. It's in your Piano Adventures book, page 54 and 55. So we start out with, well, if you look at what it shows you right here, your right hand's gonna play, put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starting on middle C. Your left hand's gonna play bass C, that's that second space, and G. Those are your first two notes. In fact, if you look at your left hand, on this page, the only two notes it plays are the C and the G, C and G, only the G, C and G, C and G. Now don't forget that these are ties. So when you play these first two notes, you'll hold them and hold them and hold them. So this actually gets 16 counts if you count this measure, all it tied together, all right? Now on this part, we have our slurs where you're supposed to play smooth. So let's look at the counting for your right hand first. So it's a dotted half note and a quarter and a dotted half note, and here's our quarter rest that we're learning about this week in class. And then the same rhythm, dotted half note, quarter, dotted half note, and the rest. Then we have a lot of dotted half note quarters, dotted half note quarters. So I would be careful with your dotted half notes. So a lot of that counting gets wrong. I'm gonna put this on 92. I'm gonna clap it once. So apparently I say so what. I'm gonna put this right here, and then let's just clap this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, quarter. Hold, 2, 3. It's a rest. Hold, 2, 3, quarter. Hold, 2, 3. It's a rest. Hold, 2, 3, quarter. Hold, 2, 3, quarter. Hold, 2, 3. It's tied. Keep holding. 2, 3, 4. So that's the first 8 measures. Let's play that just your right hand. Third finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3. Rest. Now I have a slur, so I'm going to be nice and smooth. Rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip. Skip back. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Tied. 2, 3, 4. Now if we look at measure 9, 10, and 11, it's identical. It's hold, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, then a rest, hold, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, and the rest. Here's my dotted half note, 1, 2 on D, and I go up, and on measure 6, we went up to this G, but on measure 13, we're gonna go back down to D. So here's 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Here's middle C twice, 2, 3, and then I have a tie, so I'm gonna hold it for 1, 2, 3 more, and then I rest. Okay, the second page is different, so let's finish out doing this first page. So now my left hand, let's add him. He's gonna play this bass C on space 2, and then G on the 4th space, okay? Now, like I said, it's a tie. So I'm going to play this note, and the E in the right hand all at the same time. And look what my left hand's doing. It's just going to hold because it's a tie. See, if you notice on an acoustic piano, you can still hear those notes. If you're playing this on a keyboard, these notes fade right away. But go ahead and keep that hand. And don't do this. Notes because they're not supposed to, they're tied, all right? And then we have measure 5. My left hand's going to only do one note when I get to it. So I play the D, hold 2. That's when my foot goes down on the right pedal. And then my thumb plays by itself because my right hand is tying. So this measure, this is a D, I hold, 2, 3, 4, and while I'm still holding, I add the G in my left hand. I'm gonna play those two measures. 1, 2, my foot goes down, hold, 2. Now I'm gonna, it's just like the first notes I played at the beginning. These two and this one, I lift my foot up. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, and I rest. 2, 3, 4, hold, and I lift both hands. Right hand goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm gonna get ready to play these again with a C, hold, 2, and my foot goes down, hold, 2, 3, rest. Okay? Let's talk about the second page. If you look at it, you'll notice that there are no notes in the treble clef until we get to this very last note. So this whole page is going to be played by my left hand. And it starts on the top line of this bass staff, and that note is an A. So I'm going to put finger 3, see the circle? 3 in the circle means to move my finger 3 to A. Now if you remember, on the first page, my finger 3 is on this E, which I don't even play. I'm on a bass C, and this thumb is on G. So if I move finger 3 up to A, then my thumb will be on middle C now. And A is my first note. So if I'm at third, I'm gonna play 15 and 16. So I have to hold these. 1, 2, 3, here's the tie, 1, 2. Now, you do have your foot on the pedal, and this is awesome. While your foot's on the pedal, it will hold those notes for you. So I would play 1, 2, 3, 4 while it's holding. I move my thumb up, so I'm right there, and I'm ready to play that A right on the right beat, correct beat. I hear this a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, rest. Now I've got to move my hand. And it comes way too late on the counts. So this is probably one of the trickiest spots. You have to do the counting right. So hold, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, lift 4, 1, 2, and come right in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, lift 4, 1. Okay? So my left hand is playing mezzo forte now, so this whole page is going to be louder than this page was. So I have an A, skip up to the C, and my pedal's down. So if I go back and do the jumping part, my foot is down, 2, it's soft, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, get ready, 3, lift up, loud, foot goes back down. And then when I play the B, my foot goes up and back to A. And I start again to skip up to C, step to B, skip to G. 2, 3, 4, here's a tie. Now the next 7 measures are going to be just like these 7 measures. And the only difference is instead of the A holding for 8 counts, 4 and 4, it only gets 1 count, for 1 measure, and my right hand will play that D. That's the only note he plays on this page, okay? So I'm going to start at 25. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. My foot goes up. 4, 2, 3. A again. Skip up. Step down. Hold 2. Right hand plays this. 3, 2, 3, 4. Now it looks like that's the end of the piece, but it's not. So we have D, C, all fine, and it explains it right here. Da capo means to return. I always think about putting a cap on your head, which is the top of your, on the top of your head. So go back to the beginning, which would be this part, and then you're gonna play. All means to play, and fine, you pronounce it fine, means in. So if we look on this page, we can finally find the fine right there. So this is the end of the piece. This is not the end of the piece. This piece is actually 3 pages long. First you'll play the first page, then the second page, and then you'll go back to the third page. Or the first, which is the third, okay? Now, right here it tells you to prepare your left hand for measure 1 again. So if you remember, we started out here, and then we moved him up, so he was on C, and then, so I'm going to start at 29. So here's my whole, my right hand's going to play the D, and my left hand moves right down, so I'm ready to come back in with my soft beginning, with my rest. 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, rest, left hand D, step, skip, skip back down, foot goes down, and now my G, and then I lift, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, lift my right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, lift up, 1, 2, 3, there's my quarter. Now I'm going to play a C this time, foot goes down, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, lift, and that's the end of it.